the philosophy of the club will be set, and then we'll be looking to bring someone in to carry that philosophy through.
Him?
Yeah.
Colin, good to see you. Big news this week about the blueprint. Generally speaking, how optimistic and encouraged should Harriers fans be now?
Very optimistic. What we've tried to do is enlighten them to what's been going on, not only this year but probably in recent history. And we said all along that we would keep our fans fully informed, and that's the way we intend to go, and that's what we've done now. I don't think figures have ever been mentioned before, but we've got nothing to hide, absolutely nothing to hide. It's their football club, and at the end of the day they need to know how their football club is conducting itself. And so we've reflected on the past to a degree, but not too much, because what's history is history, and we told them how the future will be, and it's our job then to adhere to the blueprint that we've laid down. And if we don't, have every right to be upset with us and act in any way they see fit. But at the moment we're asking them to trust us and to believe in us, and also we're asking them to accept that we believe that we're doing things the right way.
Clearly a lot of work has been done turning the finances around here. How secure are they now? How close are they to being secure for the foreseeable?
They're probably the most secure they've been in recent times, because we are actually running it as business now, and therefore we have to be accountable for every pound, shilling, and penny that we have on our balance sheet, and that, you know, and that's the way we will go. It will be run as a business, and we will spend what we can afford to spend, and we will not be spending what we can't afford to spend. So that's the way it will be.
How close did it come to going bust?
November, December it was. Simple as. The club was no more. So that's a fact. You know, no one wants to be patted on the back for it or anything else. I decided to do what I did with the support of other people, but that's where we were. But you know, what do we want to keep telling the world that, you know, we were about, you know, the doom and gloom? What we're saying is what's history is history. We're moving forward, and we're going to take the club forward to what we hope will be very enjoyable times for everybody concerned.
You mentioned the Kidderminster way in the statement. Can you put a bit more meat on the bones of that definition? What is the Kidderminster way?
It's a philosophy that we all believe in, which is that we will run openly and honestly, and that we will entertain, and we will play a brand of football that probably is not very common at the level we're at. We intend to break the mould. We intend to play exciting, attractive football, but take the good parts out of what we're seeing every week, and you have to say that there are good parts when you come up against teams like Cheltenham that play a certain way. The way that they work without the ball, we intend to work every bit as hard as they do, but then, you know, let's keep the thing when we've got it, and you know, that's the way we intend to go right the way through the club. The philosophy of the club will go right the way through the club, so that will go right the way through our academy teams, right the way through our development centre teams. The style and the way of playing will be from everybody who puts a Kidderminster Harriers shirt on. Even with Matt's team on a Monday night's walking football, they'll be expected to play with an element of style, and that's what we would expect going forward.
And transparency, as you mentioned, with the finances, becoming self-sufficient is obviously the fundamental part of that. Can you remind us of the specifics, Colin, of these extra revenue streams that you're implementing and bringing the money?
Those are things we're working on at the moment. We just had a very constructive meeting with the council, which is great, and you know, there will be announcements over the next few weeks, as we're almost making an announcement a day at the moment, and we intend to keep doing so. We've got to increase the turnover of this football club, therefore we can put more money into the playing side, and we know that we need to be stronger in that department. But you know, we are looking at all elements of a business to create revenue. I don't want to go into specifics at the moment because we're at latter stages with regards to negotiating agreements with parties that will help us increase funding. But we're looking at every opportunity, and the door's open. We've had some very, very good people come through the door with thoughts and ideas, and we won't turn anybody away. But we have our own thoughts as well, and we will be looking to expand the football club, the business of the football club, so we can support a team that can be successful on the pitch.
I know when we spoke last week you were mentioning having some plans in the offing, with Agbra specifically, obviously in the light of the Worcester City decision. Would that be one of the things that you're due to confirm in the next few days?
Yeah, I think by Friday, which we're down with Thursday. I'd hope that we could make an announcement tomorrow, but certainly early part of next week, on another exciting partnership for the football club.
And moving forward over the next few years, obviously Football League is the target. How realistically, time-wise, do you think that's achievable?
It's an achievable target, you know, and it's a bold statement from a group of people that are sitting at the bottom of the table as it stands at the moment, but it's an achievable target. It becomes more difficult because of the parachute payments going to be paid to league clubs coming down, and I understand that, but invariably that my experience is, and there's a lot of experience, that money will only be used up on debt that they're carrying. So you know, whether they can bring that into playing squad or not, that we'll have to wait and see. I'm not really fussed about that. We know what we need to do. We know how we need to grow and to get stronger to get where we want to go. But we don't want to just be a club that survives in whatever league they're in. What's the point? What's the point? There is no point. So we know where our targets are, and you know, we're aiming for the stars. If we hit the moon, then great, but if the moon is us being comfortably in League 2, then that's great. But if we achieve League 2, we're looking for League 1 and further. Why not? That's what we want to achieve. But to do that, we have to have a budget that can support a playing staff that is capable of it. You know, we're not miracle workers. We've done particularly well with a very, very low budget, but our budget probably reflects our position in the league as it stands at the minute. But we've got some very exciting, talented players that we've secured long term, which we feel will be a big part of what we want to do going forward.
Would you like to see it, obviously, or see it as possible, within 10 years, within 5 years?
What's the point in making predictions? I would love it to be within 5 years, love it to be within 3 years. But you know, as long as the football club is moving forward, it's sustainable, and we're entertaining our fan base, then you know, that's the main priority.